Fine then, just transfer the money. What do you mean? You should send her the money. You know she's struggling right now. You already gave her most of your paycheck, didn't you? I don't think it's necessary. You're so uncaring. My name is Kelly and I'm 32 years old. I work at a tax accountant's office in a city called Tall. My husband Luis is 30. We met at the bar where he works. We became friends while working together, and after dating for a year, we got married. Luis had a very different upbringing from mine. He never knew his father, and he lived with his mom and grandmother in his grandmother's house. When he was still young, his mom disappeared, and a year later, his grandmother died, leaving him all alone. Since he was 10 years old, he has lived in an orphanage. He doesn't like talking much about his childhood, and I don't want to make him uncomfortable, so I've never asked him about it. When we got married, my parents asked if I was okay with the fact that Luis and I had such different backgrounds. I told them that I liked him and it wasn't a problem. That was true, but I wasn't completely sure about it. My husband is quiet, but he is also very caring and gentle. I thought we could support each other for our whole lives. Unfortunately, after 2 years of marriage, things are starting to go wrong. Everything changed when my mother-in-law suddenly showed up. She just appeared out of nowhere. It was an emotional reunion, and she and Luis were crying a lot. But when I saw them crying together in front of our apartment, I didn't feel moved at all. Instead, I thought she was a pretty selfish mother. I'm so sorry, it's been a long time. I was having financial problems and didn't want to involve you. I know. I've been looking for you for a long time. I didn't know how to tell you, especially since I lost my house. But I'm glad we finally met. Yeah, me too. I think my husband was really happy to see his mother again, but she abandoned him when he needed her the most. To me, she seems like an irresponsible mother. If she was being chased by debt collectors, how could she leave her child and her own mother behind? If something terrible had happened, Luz would remember it. Her story doesn't make any sense to me. What I imagine is that my mother-in-law left her child to chase after some guy. She dyes her hair blonde and wears miniskirts that aren't appropriate for her age. She also wears low-cut tops, and her voice sounds like she drinks a lot of alcohol every day. No, I shouldn't judge a person by their appearance, I told myself. Luis is so happy to see his mother again. I should be happy for them if they are happy to be together. That's all. I repeated this to myself. It was nice to see you today, and I hope we get to see each other again, I said. I'm sure we will, she replied. Thank you, but I don't know if I can come here again. Why not? I don't have a place to live right now. Oh, I see. Luz looked at me. Oh no, I just told myself not to do this. But isn't it wrong to do this? You can't just show up and tell your son you have nowhere to live. If you really care about your children, you wouldn't do something that would make their lives harder. I don't think common sense applies to someone who suddenly disappeared like Luis's mother did. Luis's eyes seemed to say, please let her stay with us. I didn't like it, but there's no proof she did this on purpose. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I decided to help her. I looked at Luis and nodded in agreement. Mom, come live with us. Really? Thank you. Her quick thank you seemed a bit fake. It made me more suspicious. Still, I said, thank you. From today, we're going to live together. She moved in with us without seeming sorry at all. Since she arrived, Luis has looked troubled but is trying to care for his mother patiently. I thought maybe Luis wanted to help her with things he couldn't do when he was a child. But within 2 weeks of her moving in, the real her started to show. It happened when Luis went shopping and I was working late. It was the first time we were alone together. So, you're a tax accountant? Her tone suddenly changed and I didn't like it. Yes, I am, I said. You must have a lot of money saved up. I really didn't like this conversation. You act very differently when Luis isn't here, I said. He loves me and he won't believe anything bad you say about me. By the way, you're making money, right? Lend me some. I don't want to. Come on, you should. People who earn money like you should help others in need. It's just good economy. I'd never heard such a strange idea before. This is why young people today are no good. You don't understand the world. Just give me the money. I'm not going to do that. After that, whenever we were alone, the conversations were always like this. Luis's mother had clearly planned it so I couldn't tell Luis about what was happening. I just couldn't say anything to Luis, who kept talking about mother this and mother that in front of me. I knew that if I told him, we'd end up fighting. I tried to be patient, but I could only handle it for a month. Just when I was about to ask her to leave, she surprised me by saying she was going to move out. I couldn't believe my luck. Mom, are you really leaving? Yeah. I can't keep bothering you and Kelly forever. We're not those kinds of people. You can stay with us forever. Stop with the tears. I'm actually happy you're moving out. Thanks, but I found a new apartment. They said I don't even need a guarantor there, so I won't be a burden on you too. That's great. Come on, I'll show you now. It's only a 5-minute walk, so let's go. Luz nervously followed his mother. After that, I started losing trust in Louis. Since his mother arrived, I felt like he was neglecting me. My feelings for him, who always put his mother's wishes first, were fading. We followed her to the new apartment and were shocked by what we saw. It was a very run-down place, almost like a famous haunted house in the area. Luz looked at his mother with tears in his eyes. Mom, let's go back to our home. It's okay. I'll live here. Just visit me if you can. His mother moved out the next day, but it felt like it was all part of her plan. Luz had fallen into her trap. Hey, Kelly, can you help my mother somehow? Why should I? You saw that apartment. Don't you feel sorry for her? I knew it was all a trick to get money from us. I wasn't going to give her anything. Luz didn't see through her plan. I'm not giving any money to your mother. Why not? Because she's rented an apartment, so she must have some money. She goes out, so she must be working. She doesn't work. She volunteers at a nursing home during the day. Volunteering? I didn't believe for a second that she was actually volunteering. I wasn't going to buy that story. What's your point? Nothing. I'm just not going to pay for it. Louis looked at me with a cold expression. Kelly, you're only okay with things as long as they work for you, right? What do you mean? Kelly, you earn a lot more money than I do, and you expect me to just listen to you. I never said that. It's how you act. Mom said you're a little scary. I bet she left because of you. I felt like crying. What does he see in me? He doesn't understand anything and is now blaming me for everything. He doesn't know what I've been dealing with since his mother came into our lives. Has he ever really thought about it? Don't try to blame me. After that big fight, our relationship fell apart. We didn't talk for days. But a few days later, Louis called me. I answered to find out what was going on. You're at work, right? Yeah. I'm really sorry, but I need you to visit my mother, Louis said. Why? Mom hurt her leg and is having a hard time. She'd really appreciate it if you were there for her. I can't leave the store today because I have a vendor coming in. So it would mean a lot if you could go, Kelly. All right, I'll go after work. Thanks. I sighed after hanging up. Even though things are tough between us, Louis calls me when it's about his mother. I'm feeling more and more emptied inside. I took out the divorce papers from the drawer and stared at them. Maybe it's time to end this. After work, I went to the old apartment. You're late, his mother said. Her leg was bandaged. How are you feeling now? Not feeling well. That's why you're here. Hurry up and make me some tea, she ordered. She just sat on the sofa, limping. I grudgingly made a cup of tea. While getting it from the cupboard, I noticed a passbook hidden at the back. I glanced at my mother-in-law, who was focused on watching TV, and quietly took out the passbook to check it. Oh no, I said without meaning to. Shut up. I can't hear the TV. She snapped, not noticing what I was doing. She kept complaining while watching TV. As I looked around, I saw that she had a nice collection of teacups and dishes. Everything started to make sense. Here's your tea. I'm going home after this. What are you talking about? Where's dinner? Why don't you order it yourself? Then you'll be paying for it. I don't think I should. You have so much money, Mother. When she saw the passbook in my hand, my mother-in-law jumped up. That's mine. Don't you dare not give it back. She was too short to reach the passbook I was holding up high. As I headed for the door, she rushed at me. Oh, I thought you hurt your leg. You were limping a minute ago. Just give it back to me. I left her house. When I got home, Louis greeted me. Thank you for helping out. My mom must have been in a lot of pain. No, she was perfectly fine. She couldn't have been. She must have been feeling really down. Did you give her some money? It looked like he hadn't heard from his mother. What money? You didn't give me any money. Aren't you sad seeing my mom in pain? She's in desperate need of money, so I thought you'd give her some. So you think I should be the one to give her money? Louis sighed loudly. Fine, then just transfer the money. What? You should send money to her account. You know she's having a hard time. You already gave her most of your salary, didn't you? I don't think that's necessary. You're so cold. I thought you'd understand when you saw how much pain she's in. I've wasted so much time worrying about it. What have you been worrying about? That your mother is pretending to be weak. Because you're not nice at all, this is the only way. I didn't know what else to say. I threw the passbook at Louis. Look at this. Do you still think she's poor? Wake up. What do you mean? Why does she have $70 million? I don't know. She has money, yet she's still trying to get more from us. Seriously, face the facts. First, she left you alone and suddenly shows up asking to live with us. Then she keeps asking for money, not just from you but from me too. She's been asking me for money when you're not around. Why do you think she's someone you should be protecting? She's just a hustler. If you still want to protect your mother, fine, but I want a divorce. I'm done with this. You don't believe me even now. Instead, you try to make me look bad. You and your mother are the same, living in a rundown place and trying to take money from me. You're just like her. I probably forgot some things I wanted to say, but that's okay. I don't understand how my husband could trust his mother so much. He's been waiting for her for a long time. I couldn't tell him that he's being used and that his mother is exploiting him. After that, my husband and I divorced. I didn't get alimony or any share of our property. I couldn't take money from him after his mother had tricked him. We agreed to keep our savings separate. A month later, Louis was waiting for me outside my office. I told him to just say what he needed. He told me something unbelievable. My mother-in-law had been arrested for theft and fraud. She had been scamming elderly people at the nursing home where she volunteered by asking them for their PIN numbers and passbooks. Their families reported her to the police. She's in jail now, and she got arrested again for more crimes. Luckily, the money Louis had given his mother was safe. It was returned to the victims. Louis told me this, apologized, and then left. It was sad to see him go, but I'm glad the marriage ended. The problems with Louis were too much for me. I hope to find someone I can truly connect with someday, but for now, I'm done with marriage. I'm more focused on my work and plan to work harder. Maybe I'll even open my own office one day. For now, that's my new goal. It's clear that Louis's mother had a big impact on him, and his way of handling things was unfortunate. Louis is truly a victim of his mother. I hope he and his mother find a better path in the future.